Hi there guys, I'm back to another video. Today I'm here to go and showcase the games that I finished for this year's Summer Backlog Challenge. So to those who know of last year's results, I didn't finish a lot of games over my backlog that I set up, or my backlog challenge I should say, that I set up for myself. But this year for this backlog challenge I set myself up pretty nicely. I set games up that I knew that I wanted to finish and knew that I could finish. So let's just start off with the game that I didn't finish over the summer. Yes, I did just say I set games up for myself that I thought I could finish. But there's one game that I just decided to not finish because the game was just too difficult, and that game was Unraveled. And what do I mean by difficult? The game is a puzzle platformer, and I got up to a point where I just didn't know what to do. And I looked up a guide, and if all of the levels past that are going to be me looking up a guide, I do not want that I don't want that to be the way that I finish the game, and for me to just go on camera here and be like, yeah guys, I finished Unraveled, but in reality I didn't. So I just decided to not finish that game on my own accord. It's not because, you know, I didn't have enough time or I was too busy playing League of Legends or anything like that. I just decided to not finish it. So let's go into the other games that I finished over this summer. So first up, Firewatch. I was excited for this game when they initially announced it during one of the PlayStation E3 conferences. I forget exactly what year, but it was a couple years back. And I liked the game on how it looked. I liked the story that it was trying to set up and everything like that. It was definitely very interesting to me, and when the game came out I got it that Christmas of that year, and yeah, so here I am. I finished Firewatch, and it is a pretty good game. If you're into graphic adventure games, if you're into games that have a really heavy emphasis on story and you make, you know, decisions here and there and whatnot, definitely check this game out. It's not even that long either. I think it's believed to be 3 to 4 hours on the game, depending if you like get lost or anything like that, but yeah, the game is decently short. So Firewatch, if you haven't checked it out already, you should definitely check it out if you're into graphic adventure games like any of the Telltale games, or if you're just into games that have a heavy emphasis on story. So next game here is a game that I challenged myself to finish before it even came out, and that is the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. I was definitely very excited for this game. This is probably my most anticipated game for this year, I believe. I set myself on my top 5 games I was excited for this year. Anyways, yeah, I was definitely very excited for this game, and when it came out I pretty much dropped everything what I was doing. I just played this game through and through, and I finished it 2 times over actually, all 3 games, you know. And yeah, this game is definitely very, very fun, really, really good. Vicarious Visions tried their best to keep these games as intact as possible. They pretty much polished the graphics, fixed certain things within the gameplay, which can be a criticism to some, but overall this Insane Trilogy was done really, really well. If you've played the Crash Bandicoot Trilogy on the PlayStation 1, you'll probably like this trilogy depending on how recently you played it. Like, it's been years since I played the originals on my PS1, and you know, just jumping back into these games years later, it was definitely a very, very fun experience. But if you just played the PS1 games and, you know, jump into this trilogy, you might find some things different within the gameplay. But if you never played the Crash Bandicoot games, definitely check this game out. It's definitely very fun and really enjoyable, and really does show where 3D platformers, I guess, kind of started. You know, like, this is pretty much the era where 3D platformers kind of rose up. So next game here, Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, and I played all of the other Naruto Ultimate Ninja games back on the PS2, and then, you know, they transitioned into the next generation, and now they're on the PlayStation 4. So yeah, I really do enjoy these Naruto games. They're really fun in terms of the gameplay and the story. You know, the story is pretty much the main reason why I play these games, because I get to know a little bit more about Naruto and stuff like that, and all of these characters that are within the Naruto world. And yeah, the story is definitely very interesting. You know, it's I believe this is towards the end of the Shippuden series and stuff like that. So you know, just seeing on how it all unfolds and how certain characters change and whatnot. You know, definitely a very fun game to play through. And you know, if you played the previous Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games and you like those, you know, check this game out. And the last game that I challenged myself to finish over this year's Summer Backlog Challenge is Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. This is definitely an underrated game on the Wii U, I would say. I don't think a lot of people really talk about this or praise it or give it as much praise as I, you know, hope that it should deserve, because this game is really good. If you like the Captain Toad levels within Mario 3D World, definitely check this game out. Or if you're just into puzzle platformers with a Mario twist, you definitely check this game out as well. There are 3 episodes. Each episode gets harder and harder, and every single level is different within design. Maybe, you know, similarly within aesthetics, but you know, every single level is different and brings a nice sense of challenge as you progress through the game. So yeah, I hope they make a sequel for this on the Switch, because this game is pretty good. So those are the games that I challenged myself to finish over this summer. Now, there are some unexpected titles that I finished over this summer that I just did not expect to finish, obviously. So let's just jump into those. So first up, Life is Strange. This game is on the Steam Summer Sale for like $5 or something like that. I played through it pretty much like I sat down and I just kept playing through the game because it was that good. It's a really, really good graphic adventure game. The reason that this game stands out from other graphic adventure games like from Telltale's or whatever, this game has a special power and you are able to redo certain decisions and stuff like that, and you're pretty much able to see both sides of a decision before making that final decision, and that's what I love about this game. There's a lot of choice within the player of seeing both sides of it instead of being pressured to be like, oh god, who do I save here? You know, like you need to, you know, think on your feet basically within like Telltale games like The Walking Dead or something like that. But within this game, Life is Strange, you have as much time as possible to make a crucial decision, and whatever you make, you have the choice to rewind time and choose the different decision. So yeah, Life is Strange is just really, really good. I'm glad that Don't Nod is making a season 2, and I cannot wait for the spin-off that is Before the Storm. So yeah, I just cannot wait for that game either, and I'm definitely into the Life is Strange fandom now. So yeah. Next game that I finished for this year's Summer Backlog Challenge is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I say finished because I did 150cc mirrored and all of the ones above it, so like 50, 100, 150, and obviously mirrored. I did not finish 200cc because that one's way too fast and there's a lot of RNG within Mario Kart as is. So I don't want to not get a gold cup on top of not getting 3 stars because of something stupid happening. Obviously that happened a lot when I was playing this game on 150cc to begin with, so I can't imagine doing that on 200. So yeah, I pretty much did 50, 100, 150, and 150 mirrored. Got all of the gold cups along with 3 stars on each of them, and it was definitely a lot of fun. It gives me a lot of experience within Mario Kart 8, and that pretty much shows when my friends come over and they try to go and play Mario Kart 8 against me. I almost always get first place if I'm using the Pro Controller. If I'm not, I might need to use the Joy-Con grips if I need to, but yeah, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe finished pretty much all of the CCs except for 200. The next game here I definitely did not expect myself to finish over the summer, and that is Knack. Knack is a game that I did not set myself to finish over the summer, but I don't know why. I just got bored and I was like, I want to finish Knack. I want to do a video on Knack and see what happens. So when I first played Knack back in 2014, maybe even 2015, I forget what year, but when I first played this game, I was like, this game's pretty bad because of the difficulty that it has, and the story's just pretty boring as is, and you know, I just decided to go and pick it back up, and yeah, the game is pretty much the same as what I thought all those years back. The gameplay is definitely very difficult at points, especially since this game is targeted towards children, and you know, they say that there's like a mix of like Crash Bandicoot in here or whatever, but the Crash Bandicoot difficulty was fair. This game is just like, I have this huge health bar, but the enemy's still like kill me within 1 to 2 hits, and there's no invincibility frames, and the story and you know the characters, they're all just boring and bland, and I'm just not compelled to care about anything within this game. So yeah, Knack is definitely not a good game, but Knack 2 is definitely looking a lot better, I would say. Just from like all of the video footage that I've seen of it, it looks a lot better than the first game. So I'm pretty sure they took that criticism to heart and they are implementing it within the sequel, which I'm very proud of, or very happy I should say, for them to do. Next game I finished over this summer is Splatoon 2, and Splatoon 2, I initially was never going to play the story, then I was like, if I'm going to do a game review, I kind of need to finish the story mode. So I finished the story mode. It's not exactly all that needed, but it is like a much more bigger tutorial sort of piece if you're, you know, like a complete noob at shooters, and you don't know how, you know, most guns work or something like that. You know, playing the story mode does help, but as a person who immediately jumped into the multiplayer and has experience within shooters like Call of Duty, Halo, Gears of War, etc., you know, just jumping into the multiplayer is fine. But, you know, if you want to play that, you know, extended tutorial mode, aka the story mode, you can do that. But it just didn't do anything for me personally, especially when when I clocked in multiple hours within the multiplayer. But anyways, Splatoon 2 is still a really good game, and I highly recommend it if you own a Nintendo Switch. The last game that I finished over this summer was Sonic Mania. I completely forgot that this game came out. And yeah, I bought it, I finished it, and it's a lot of fun. As a person who loves the modern Sonic games, Sonic Colors, Sonic Generations, Sonic Unleashed, you know, those games, Sonic Mania is a lot of fun. And you know, I'm not really too fond of the classic formula because I didn't grow up with them, and I've never finished any of the classic games. But this game was still a lot of fun, and I highly recommend it if you're a Sonic fan, especially if you're a fan of the classic titles. And even if you're a fan of the modern games, try this game out. It's only like 20 bucks or something like that, and it's still a really well-made game. This game was made by Sonic fans. A lot of the team who worked on this game, from the music to the developers to, you know, the music, everything. I think I already said music. I'm not exactly sure, but pretty much everyone who worked on Sonic Mania is a fan of Sonic the Hedgehog, and they definitely put their heart and soul into this project, and I can definitely appreciate that. So yeah, those are all of the games that I finished over this summer backlog challenge. What are some of your games that you guys finished over this summer? Be sure to leave them in the comment section down below. And yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys have not already, subscribe. I put new videos up every single Saturday. Want to follow me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, you can do that as well. And yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you guys for watching this video again. I'll see you guys next time with more videos. Game on, gamers!